And so this is an email received from an insider. Hannah, I'm writing this sadly and disappointed. If you could hear how this comes across, it is genuinely troubling. I don't think it's entirely your fault, especially with Lloyd steering the conversation toward the election and the idea of a cult, but it still needs to be said. In that case, I think it's worth taking a closer look at what constitutes antisocial or inappropriate behavior. You are very certain that the PBC is not a cult, and by extension, I assume you believe we were not brainwashed. I'd ask you to pause and consider this quote from a media article, not about the PBCC specifically, but relevant nonetheless. And in quotations, the young people are already physically and intellectually isolated and have no frame of reference for acceptable behavior. End of quote. I honestly can't see how the behavior of the brethren volunteers at polling booths could be viewed as acceptable without that kind of isolation shaping perception. I would also encourage you to read the submissions to the Parliament inquiry to the Standing Committee on Electoral Matters. These submissions are fact-checked prior to publication. Submission after submission from all over the country recounts the same experience. These people have not collaborated to align their stories. They are sharing their own lived realities. I was struck and slightly saddened listening to the brethren on the podcast being asked what they value most about the PBCC, or in your case, about the leader and his family. What followed was a list of ordinary Christian works and values: kindness, decency, community. These are things many people experience from neighbors, schools, or wider communities every day. They are not unique or extraordinary. Yet, we are conditioned to believe they were. And that belief didn't come from a neutral or open environment. I'm not writing this to attack you, but to ask for a moment of reflection. Perspective is shaped by experience, and experience is shaped by what we are and are not allowed to see. I hope over time there is space for honest consideration of that. That was such a good email that we got.